This Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 video is all about the best early weapons for each category that you can get as soon as the game starts that doesn't require skill checks or story progression to do. So the story officially begins whenever you leave the pillory for the first time, and usually you're beckoned over by this girl with the red coat. That is when the open world officially begins, and there are lots of things you can go collect and get, and I'm going to tell you the best weapons that you can immediately go get right now without any difficulty, no skill checks, no picking hard locks, nothing. And I'm going to give a few exceptions, as in I'm going to tell you the best in slot that you can possibly get, but also a good enough that you can possibly get, because the way this game works is until you're fighting fully armored opponents on the second map, your time to kill, or how many hits it takes to kill, say, an armored guard, is the exact same regardless of the stats on the weapon, as in having 10 to 20 more damage on an axe still means you kill these guys in 3 hits rather than in 2 hits. Now, the first weapon is the Skalitz Axe, and this is not a best-in-slot axe. We're going to cover that next, but the time to kill, or the amount of hits to kill an enemy, is the exact same as the best in slot, all the way until the very end of the game, where you're forced to switch to a Mace to deal with fully armored opponents. So in order to get the Skalitz Axe, here we are at the pillory, and we're going to be going to this tiny little building that's southwest of us, and I'm going to show you the way. So again, you're just going to go southwest down the main road here, and then we're going to cut through some yards. Now this is the apothecary area. This is where you would brew potions. And we're just going to, again, cut right through here, hop the fence. There we go. And then right over here. And the great thing about this axe is it's not considered stealing. So here we are. You're going to see this guy. His name is Drunkard Jezhek. And right here on the left, there's a little shack. And inside that shack is the Skalitz Axe. Now, again, this is, in my opinion, like, this is the weapon you use all the way until the second map. And here's the stats if you care. And again, now the neat thing about axes in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2 is that axes deal both slash and blunt damage at the same time. Now I'm gonna cover the next axe, which is even better than this, and it's easier to get, or it's rather easy to get. It's got a little bit of legwork, but you'll be able to get it, and it does have higher stats, but you're still gonna two-shot everyone with this axe as you would the next one. Now, next up, we are going to get the Executioner's Axe, which you have to craft this, and there's a very quick and easy way to acquire this. Everyone says that you need lockpicking. No, you don't. There's a way to open the chest without it. I'm going to show you. But right here in the middle of town, again, we're back at the pillory where we started. We need to go over here to the butcher. So what we're going to do is we're going to be running to the east along the road here, and it's on the right. And you just continue running along the road here. And, you know, we just started, so the guards don't like us, and that's fine. I have a video in the works that'll teach you how to max out your reps super easy. We're just going to, again, we're following the road a little bit south now, back to the east. You're going to see a building here, and this building is the butcher. And, man, my character has no stamina when you start, huh? Yeah, so there's the butcher. There it is. That's the sign. And this is where the butcher is at on the map. You'll see the little sausage icon right here. We're going to round this fence, round the corner. And this is where you would go to enter the butcher's shop, but we don't want to do that. We want to run upstairs, and yes, we're going to be trespassing and stealing for this. That's fine. We open the door, we go to the right, we're going to open this door, and inside this, whatever this is, dresser, they have the Toledo steel, which is the best steel in the game. And we're going to go ahead and yoink that and nothing else, so we're going to immediately just leave. And we're going to skip town for a little bit, because we don't want to be considered stealing. And we're going to head north along this northernmost road, but we're gonna again curve around outside of town so we don't get searched by the guards and lose this Toledo steel. Very important that we keep that. Now, continuing along north from Troskowitz, we're going to be again following this big thick road here, kind of left a bit and going up in between these two forests. And right here on the left side of this forest, there is a shack that's hidden behind the trees. You'll have to just kind of go face first into the bushes, and you'll see a shack, and there we go. So here is the shack. This is the overgrown dugout. You'll see it on the map right around here, right in the middle of the forest on the left side. And so when you go in here, there is a medium lockpick chest. But if you turn around and against the doorway, there's a little clay pot down here. I don't have a torch to light up the room, but there's the old chest key. you're going to go ahead and then use that key to open the chest. And none of this is considered stealing, alright? So, you can loot everything here. There's some starter money. We definitely need that because we're completely broke. I'm just going to grab everything so we can sell it. And, again, you get the Executioner's Axe sketch here. So, very, very important stuff. And, you know, this is some good starter gear, too, if you need it or if you want it. But you're going to go to books now and learn the recipe for Executioner's Axe. Now, we need to get ourselves to a blacksmith, and remember, the main character, Henry, is a blacksmith, so he can already make things, but we're going to go right up here, where it says, get into the wedding party with the help of blacksmith Radovan, and we're just going to run right to that location. Now, once you get to the blacksmith, you're going to go ahead and talk to him, and you're going to open a trade, and you're going to buy some raw materials, and so we're going to buy some iron. We're going to buy 2 iron. It's really cheap. It only costs 8.8, and we have a bunch of stuff we could sell to him, but we also have that starter money we got from that chest. So just go ahead and pay for it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the anvil and you're going to start blacksmithing. We're going to then click axes. We have the 2 iron and the Toledo steel, and I'm going to teach you how to craft it. It's a lot simpler than it looks, okay? And there's plenty of ways to mess this up and still craft the gold quality. We can't craft Henry quality because that requires level 16. You can always craft Henry quality later. But, losing my voice, you're going to hold the bellows, and you can do this 16 times. On the 17th time, you will overdo it, but if you do overdo it, it's still fine. So I just do it until I overdo it, because it's still going to craft a gold quality one anyway. And Henry will tell you when, vocally. He will say that he's burning it. So, I'm burning it. There we go. Now I'm going to push R and move it to the anvil. And the way we're going to do this is, we're not going to flip this currently. You don't need to flip it, but you just raise the hammer until it's off screen, and then slowly scoot it around while you hammer it. Again, you don't need to flip it, and I'm just kind of scooting my mouse inch by inch, moving it left and right. Now, my character is brand new, so I'm getting pretty tired here. But again, we're just going to keep hammering and make sure that our stamina doesn't get too drained. But there we go. And again, it doesn't matter too much where you hit on this. Axes are very easy to craft. And yeah, this does take a little bit, but we're going to let Henry take a few breaths. And then we're just going to keep hammering. And there we go. And if it cools down, that's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just that our character is, he's gassing out here. He is out of stamina. Alright, let him take a few breaths. And the higher leveled you are, the more stamina you're going to have. But at the very start of the game, we just don't have the stamina yet. So, again, it's okay if you hammer in the same spot a few times. You don't have to be perfect, and missing is totally fine, too. There's really no rush.
Take care, then.
Alright. And sometimes there'll be a fight that breaks out nearby, so you can just ignore that. You don't have to worry about it. It's not your problem, right? It's the guard's problem. Alright, so yeah. This does take a bit of time. But yeah, you just keep hammering it. And if you take too long and it cools off, you just put it back in the furnace. And there we go, we did it. So we're going to push E, quench and finish. I'm going to speed this up for you. It's going to make a little computer error noise. And there we go. That's the noise. That's my computer, not yours. And there we go. We have Executioner's Axe. That is quality 3. And there we go. So you'll notice that it's at 80% and not 100. So you would just go ahead over here to sharpen it real quick. And so this is, again, is free. You just select the Executioner's Axe. And I move my mouse up and down like this while I push spacebar. So it looks like this. And then I just drag my mouse left and right while I do it. And that's basically it. That's really all you got to do. And you don't have to really even do it that much. And again, you can just kind of scoot it while you rock it. And there we go. So you might have to do it a few more times or longer than I showed you there, but that puts it at still 80 for some reason. Well, that's weird. Let's try that again. Not sure why it didn't sharpen all the way. Maybe I was a little too fast. We're just gonna, again, scoot it across a few times. But yeah, just do this until the durability is higher so that it does more damage. There we go, razor sharp, we got it. Okay, cool. Alright. Which is a perk you have by default. So it's at 98%, that's good enough. And you'll see that the slash damage is 98. The blunt damage, again, this is added up because it's an axe, is 49. compared to the Skalitz Axe. We'll go ahead and equip the Skalitz Axe. You can see here, we get a plus 13 and a plus 6, which, again, yes, this is best in slot for the first map for one-handed axes. However, the Skalitz Axe, because it does a very close amount of damage to the Executioner's Axe, you're still 2 to 3 shotting all your targets depending on your perks. It is not a damage breakthrough. It does not allow you to hit one less time to finish off an opponent over the Skalitz Axe. But if you have friends over and you just want to show off that you have a better axe than them, there you go. Now, real quick, I want to teach you about a meme weapon, and that is Farmer Matthew's Pitchfork. It is a unique pitchfork right here in Takov, where the blacksmith is. So just north of the blacksmith, there is this barn building kind of right in here in this area. And so, again, it's going to be right in here. Let me just run into the barn and show you. So, again, actually, yeah, this building right here in Takov. And the pitchfork is right here. Farmer Matthew's Pitchfork. We're going to pick that sucker up. There we go. And you can see this is a poleaxe, and the stats are, you can't stab with it. It's a meme weapon. There's normal pitchforks, and they have around 81 stab damage. This pitchfork is, I don't know why, you can't stab with it. But you can slash and have blunt damage with it, so we'll go ahead and put it on. And you can see the stats here, slash damage 51, blunt damage 51. And it's pretty jank. Like, you just kind of beat them with it, right? Again, you can stab with it, but the stab damage is 0. So, yeah, it's kind of, that's why it's a meme weapon, right? But, you know, we'll just go ahead and stab this, you know, doggo here. And you'll see, like, nothing's happening. So let's try to stab a person then. See what happens. We're over encumbered. Oh no. Alright, lady. You're our pitchfork test dummy. Oh no. We're stabbing her for 0 damage. Even though she's still bleeding. I don't know how that works then. So maybe it's got a hidden modifier or something. And there's still the stab attack too. Like, we can clearly poke this guy and he's losing HP. But it's not much compared to stabbing with any other weapon in the game. So, there you go, meme weapon for you. Next up, we have the Rider's Warhammer. Now, this is not the best mace. However, the best mace on the first map is very luck and random dependent. And I'll go over that in a bit. It can be a little hard to find, and it's not exactly something you can get on a level 1 character very easily. But, right here on the map, and I'll show you, is, so we have Troskowitz, and if you go all the way southwest, you're going to hit Samin. And then if you go kind of southeast from Samin through the forest, there is like this little clearing here. And this is Von Burgo's ambushed men, and one of the dead soldiers has the Rider's Warhammer. And so this weapon, again, it's the best mace you can get that isn't luck dependent. So putting this on, it's all right. You can smash some heads with it. But the thing with maces on the first map is you never fight fully armored plate opponents. Meaning there's no real reason to ever use a mace. It's just redundant and pointless. But if you want to be like, you know, do a playthrough where you have a mace so you can club things like your dog here, you know, just beat your dog to death, then you can totally do that if you want to. And I showed you where it's at. But also, there is the best crossbow also in this area. And again, in this exact same area is the field crossbow. And I'm going to show you where to get the piercing bolts, because with the piercing bolts and this field crossbow, you can one-shot headshot people without any marksmanship or agility levels. You can literally kill unarmored opponents by shooting them in the face. Now, important NPCs, boss enemies, and elite enemies, they're kind of like the bandits with a bit of heavier armor and higher levels. You won't be able to one-shot them without levels into marksmanship and agility. But again, this crossbow, if you skip to this part of the video, it's right down here. Von Burgo's ambushed men, just southeast of Samin, or Samine, I don't know how to pronounce it. And if you want ammo, the best place that I found to buy ammo is in 2 places. You can buy the piercing arrows, which is what I recommend, at the blacksmith up here at Takov. And if you want wounding arrows, you would buy them from Miller Kretzel. Once you do his starter quests, you can actually buy stuff from him, and he sells wounding bolts. So, again, wounding bolts would be for making things bleed, like hunting animals. And this crossbow does one-shot animals when you level up your marksman and agility, so I would just stay with the piercing arrows, honestly. Now, next up is the Cuman Chiefs Bow, and this is the best bow on map 1. And it is the only bow that once you have marksman leveled to around 18 and around 9 to 10, 11, 12 agility, I forget exactly how much, you can one-shot people in the face with this bow. It's a fast draw bow, but you can only one-shot most enemies in the face with it if you've already at least killed one enemy. But it is a better mob or humanoid clearing weapon than the than this crossbow. So let me show you where to get it. So over here on the west side of the map is the Nomad's Camp. And let me show you again. We start out in Troskowitz, you go west, there's Zelazhov, you continue west, and then there's the Nomad's Camp. You're going to have this this marked on your map to go see Tomcat very early in your game, if you talk to that lady in red at the pillory at the very start of the game. So from the Nomad's Camp, you know, just taking the fast travel here, we're going to actually go west a bit, and there's going to be some dudes over here just kind of at a camp. And then we're going to have this guy in bright orange who leans against a tree all day being a lazy bones. His name is Bibrek the Archer. And, you know, he's a Cuman. He doesn't speak English, whatever. And so you're just going to chill behind the tree, and you're just going to rob him of his keys. And you can do this with a level 1 character. I'm not using a level 1 character, but you just take his keys, that's all. There we go. Very easy to pickpocket. They're right there up front at the top of his pocket for some reason. And then once you have that, you would go back to your little fast travel location, going east, and there's a path that leads down, and then you just continue to go down, and there's a Cuman camp, and there's a quest you can do here where you get drunk and talk to a dog. I'm not going to spoil it, but we won in this tent, but we're going to go behind the tent, and we're going to stealth, and I'm not using a sneaking set just to show you how easy this is. Even a level 1 character can do this, and you're just going to sneak into the tent here, just like so. And, yeah, they're kind of looking at me, so, but, now they're not. And when you open it, you have the Cuman Chiefs Bow. There's also some ammo here. You know, I like to get the piercing arrows and the wounding arrows, why not? And, this bow here is awesome. This bow here, very powerful stuff. This is a 180 power draw bow. The next best one you can get is the Poacher's Bow, but the reason the Poacher's Bow sucks and is completely irrelevant is that even with buffs and levels into your marksmanship, and after killing an enemy, the Poacher's Bow still does not one-shot headshot enemies, but the Chief's Bow does, especially with piercing arrows. So, yeah, let me just kind of show you in action what that's like. I've got, what, 24 arrows? That should be more than enough, and these are high-level enemies. They have very good armor. They're very tough opponents, and we're just going to, again, shoot him in the head. And, again, it won't kill him, right? But we need to get 1 kill at least. I think I'm getting attacked here. Alright, so that's 1 kill. Now I have a buff where I deal 50% additional damage. And now, well, I can't shoot through him because he's in my hitbox. But, now I can one-shot in the head. But this guy, again, these guys are high-level and super armored. So, I don't even think I'm hitting him in the face, actually, but... Wow, did you see him dodge at that last second? He, like, Donald Trumped that arrow, I guess. So, again, but you'll just have to trust me. This bow does absolutely wreck face, but the problem with using bows is you get stun locked and killed, like so. So I actually need to just equip a different weapon to get unstun locked. I can show you another example. Alright, let's get it all lined up here. Okay, well, my character undrew the bow for some reason when I unpaused the game. Alright, there we go. So now we're one-tapping heads, and then we'll get the whole enemy camp. But yeah, you just kind of backpedal, you tank the hits. And this guy's got a face covering too. Alright, looks like we managed to get it through the armor there. But, yeah, we're dying, we're bleeding out, our character's a little weakened. But again, we have that headshot damage buff for a few more seconds. It's about to run out. So we'll have to kill a fresh body here. That guy's running, so I don't even want to... Is someone hitting me? Yeah, I guess they are. Oh yeah, this is the guy we stole the keys from. He's part of the Cuman camp, so he aggroes too. Get that lined up. And again, you really don't want to use this until level 18 so you can have that time slowing perk. Did that guy just drop his... He just like dropped his whatever he was eating to run. I guess that's the sensible thing to do when someone's a mass shooter, huh? But you get the idea. The Cuman bow is very, very good. The Poacher's Bow will not do this. Now, this is a common enemy, so again, it still won't pierce through. But once you get that first kill, it should pierce through everybody. So let's get a nice little guinea pig here. How about this guy? Alright, there we go. That's a one-shot in the neck, too. This guy's going to punch us. And again, he's in our hitbox, so we can't really do much about that. Also, if you miss a shot after getting a kill, you lose that damage buff. So, again, the bow's a little tricky to use, but once you get a kill, you can kind of chain your kills with this weapon. And again, when you get to the second map, Kuttenberg, you can definitely find a better bow for sure. All right, let's get a. There we go. This is a fresh target, right into his dome there. That's a one tap. Oh, we got Tomcat, one shot Tomcat, everybody. So there you go. That proves its power, I guess. All right, next up is the Battle Longsword, and the easiest way to get this is you just go to Blacksmith Radovan. He is right up here at Takov. As you've already known if you've been watching the video and didn't skip ahead here, you just go to trade, and he has one for sale here. Now, this one is just bronze quality, but it's still basically essentially good enough. But I'll show you where to get silver quality. But before I do that, I just want to talk about the common longsword. If you have level 16 crafting, you can craft a Henry grade longsword. And here's the common longsword at gold quality. It's a 107. And Battle Longsword is 109, so it beats it by 2 overall, right? Overall slash and stab damage, at least. It does have plus 16 blunt damage, but that's only when you do a clinch attack, unfortunately. It is not the same as using axes. But, again, if you craft the Common Longsword at Henry grade, which is the highest grade, then it will deal significantly more than the silver grade Battle Longsword. So the location of the Battle Longsword silver grade, you can either kill, there's 2 locations, and the easier or closer one is right here at Zelejov, right here at the Wagoner's Inn. Just across the bridge and north a bit, there is a bandit camp, and you can go here, and then the sword is about right around here. But that one's pretty hard, especially if you're a level 1 character. Whereas the other one that's easier, in my opinion, is north of the Nomads camp. You go across the lake here. Now, you can't swim across. You have to actually go around the long way. So you would still kind of maybe take the Zelejov Wagoners in. But there's a little clearing just right here, and there's a bunch of wolves. There's like 3 or 4 wolves. You kill them. They're real easy to kill. And there will be a Battle Longsword there. So here we are on the little crossroads area. We're going to go right up here, up the hill. And there's some wolves to clear out. Not that many. They're real easy. You just block them and then swing after you block. But yeah, there's a lot of bushes that kind of block this area. But there's going to be like some graves. And again, here's the wolves. You just smash them up. But you can see here, right on the ground, I'm going to let the wolves bite me. Or no, I'm not. I'm just going to kill them real quick. There we go. Just slap them down. And yeah, if you're armored, they don't like do any damage. They're just kind of annoying. Right? And you can shoot them with a bow if you want. You could just chop them up with your Skalitz Axe if you've been following the video. And this one keeps getting bites, but there we go. He went through the floor apparently. Okay, whatever. But yeah, right here is the Battle Longsword, and you'll see this one is silver quality, which I already had. So again, these things respawn after a week of in-game time. So at 100% repair, it will be 109 damage. Now, for the common longsword, you have to craft it because that's how you get it, the Henry level crafting, and you won't have level 16 crafting at the start. But as soon as you load into the fast travel at Troskowitz, and that's where we are, is Troskowitz, right here at the start of town. You go right, there's a guard, here's the inn, here's the guard, we're facing north, we go in. This is the scribe area, I don't know what to call this, but if you go left, this is where the scribe spends his day, and there's also the bailiff hangs out with him. But all you gotta do is go right here to this shelf, and we're gonna crouch down, we're gonna steal the sketch, immediately open our inventory as soon as the game allows it, and then we're going to learn the sketch, and then that way, there's no proof that we stole anything, because it gets consumed, it gets thrown into the ether. And yeah, you're gonna need iron, which we get from the blacksmith, coin, sword pommel, and ordinary sword guards. You'll find these in bandit camps. Pigskin and steel you can buy from the vendor right here in town. So I'll show you where that vendor is. It's pretty simple to find. But we'll go back to where we were. And again, this is the middle of town. Here's the carpenter. There's the inn. And then to the left or to the west of everything is the shopkeeper vendor right here. It looks like this. It's got the little scales. And then you go inside. And then this guy right here will sell you the pigskins and the steel. So you just go to materials. There's the pigskin. There's the steel. And you would craft it the exact same way you crafted the accent at level 16 with the Martin's specialty perk. I forget the name. You can craft Henry quality gear, and that would be the best longsword on the first map. So the next one is the heavy weapon Mace, the heavy mace, and it's the best mace on map 1. But you don't need this mace because there's no fully plate armored opponents to use it on. But if you just want to have the best mace on the first map, here's how to find it. you're going to have to look for an NPC called Soldier. So you'll see here we have these guys with like green on. This guy's got like an archer cap. This guy's got like some kind of other hat. And you can see here, we can see what we're wearing. This is the mace that we want from this soldier. And this guy has the rider's mace, which I told you how to find that earlier for free. This guy's got a hunting sword. This guy's got no weapons. Let's see, we got hunting sword, okay. So we know that at least one of these soldiers has the mace we need. I'm going to show you how to get it from him with very minimal fuss, but he's all over the map. Let me show you how to find it. If you ever see these things traveling on the road, this is a caravan. I'll show you kind of what it looks like too. It's kind of something like this. You're going to see two horses pulling a wagon, and it could be a double wagon like this. It could be a caravan with a top on it like that. But they're always accompanied by those soldiers that are dressed in green, and always one of those soldiers will have the heavy mace. And right now, the soldiers here, I'll show you the time of day. This is around 1500, 1600 hours, and they are here at the Zelejov Wagoner's Inn. But they travel all over the place. They travel this road. They will stop at all of these little road camps by the road. They sometimes travel to Samin. They will actually stop in the middle of Troskowitz sometimes and just chill for the night. And they will also pass the graveyard at Troskowitz into Apollonia, and then they will leave the map. That's all the spots that I've found them. So here is the easiest, least fussy way to steal it and not have them murder you for it or pay a bunch of money. And for that, you're going to want your horse. You need a horse. And again, you want to have a horse to be able to store the stolen item on, and I'm going to show you why in a bit. But what we're going to do, and it's real simple, and you're going to take a bit of a beating for it, but we're just going to find the guy with the mace. And before I tell you how to do that, if you find them on a caravan and they're driving, all you have to do to stop the caravan is attack their wagon. They'll all climb out and yell at you. You can apologize, and when they turn their back, you're going to choke them out. So that's what we're going to do to the soldier here. We're just going to choke him out. And we'll loot his mace. So I'm going to get behind him, crouch, hit knockout, give him the old choke. Everyone's going to get pissed off because I just assaulted someone. I'm going to rob him, grab his mace. What I'm going to do now is go to the horse. Where's my horse? The horse disappeared. Oh, there it is. Never mind. And we're going to open our inventory. We're going to then transfer the heavy mace. Move to horse. Well, we're in combat, so we're just going to get on the horse and leave. And if you have the fast start perk, you can immediately start running away from everyone. And we're just going to run from them until that... I know you can't see it, but there's a bunny icon. When it changes from search or chase to search, then you're technically out of combat. You open your inventory. You can then move to your horse. There we go. And now we're going to ride back into town. Except we're not going to make sure the guards don't see our horse here. So I'm just going to dismount a bit away from town. You can see the guards gave up. They're kind of running back to the inn now. And these are the soldiers that we choked out. They're kind of running around too, trying to find us. But we're going to go ahead and turn ourselves into the guards. And there's no stolen goods. And here's how we handle it. We just have high charisma. That's it. So here's the catch pole. We surrender. And we pretend to be a noble. Do you know who I am? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. And then there we go. We don't owe any money. The soldiers don't want to fight us. Yeah, your rep gets lowered by a bit, but now we have the best mace on the map. So it's really that simple. We just keep the mace on the horse a few days. The stolen goods icon will go away, and then it's ours to keep. Next up is the Bardiche. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. Bardiche. But we're here in Troskowitz. Once again, Troskowitz. And we're going to go north around up here to this little part here. I'm just going to show you real quick. We're just going to give it the old run through. And it's preferable that you do this at nighttime, but I'm just going to show you where it's at during the day. And there's always, and again, you can pickpocket any guard. I like to pickpocket when they're asleep. But this guy, oh, I already robbed him today. Okay, never mind. So I should have his keys then. But this guy right here, and this is where we're at. We're like right here on the north part of Troskowitz. You steal his keys. It's real simple. You just steal his keys. And then, again, preferably do this at nighttime, but because all the guards are here. But this is the guard shack. All right, this door right here. And you can't really lockpick this unless you level up lockpicking. But you have the keys, so you just open this door, and they're probably going to yell at me, whatever, who cares. I've already stolen it, looks like, but these two weapon racks, like this is the Bardiche right here. It's not always here, but this is the highest damage poleaxe in the game, and it's only silver quality, so there are better ones out there, but not on the first map that I could find without progressing the story. So there you go. This is it, and it won't be fully sharpened or repaired, so it's only at 92 damage, but when you fully repair it, it'll be at 96 slash damage. And poleaxes kind of suck in this game, but hey, if you're curious and want a mounted weapon, there you go. Now, as far as poleaxes go, there is the worst weapon in the game, and that is the staff. I have one right here. This deals 10 blunt damage. That's it. And to get that, we're in, again, Skalitz, and you go right here to the carpenter. This is the carpenter, and he's usually over here sawing a log or something. I don't know what he's doing. But, again, this is where it's at on the map. Here's the fast travel. It's literally right there. You talk to this guy, you open trade with him, and he sells the staff. So, that's where it's at. And you just buy it from him. It's just literally a piece of wood. And then you can run around town, and you can beat people to death with it. Like, so if you look in the photo mode, we can see here, this is what it looks like. It is literally just a stick. So now we can just beat the hell out of people with it. And you can also poke them. Well, there we go. You can just poke him with a stick, beat him, bash him. He's gonna run. Bam! Just club him in the back. You can see I'm barely hurting this guy, but, you know, we're still dealing damage, right? And this is with 30 strength, okay? And, of course, we can block swords with our stick. Oh, no, he hit the doggo. You gotta poke him. You gotta bash his head in, right? There we go. You can also clinch him, right? Do some clinch fighting. Do some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. Alright, the dog's on that one, so I'm gonna clinch this guy, actually. There we go. We got the clinch. And, again, poleaxes really suck for clinch fighting. You should use heavy weapons, because I can't do anything, even with 30 strength and decent agility. I just keep losing the clinch to this dude, so, again, it's a terrible weapon on purpose. Alright, next up is the dagger. I think the dagger is necessary, especially if you want to stealth kill very early in the game, which is really powerful. And so, to get the dagger, we're at Skalitz, okay? Every other guide video ever has you go to really stupid locations, but the closest, best, and free location is literally just southwest, a bit down the road. You're going to hit this camp by the road, but you're going to hit Herdsboy's Sleepy, and that's where we're going. And once you get here, you're going to see a dead sheep and a little shack. And again, this is where I'm at. I'm at the south part of this little sheep field, and you'll examine the sheep. And once you've examined the sheep, you can just steal the dagger, yoinkers, and then there's a bane poison, you know, so yoinkers that. And then inside the house, and again, I don't care that the guy sees me, you got another bane poison. There we go, you got the doll maker poison, and some milk. Oh, look, and this dog's biting me. Oh, no. Oh, no, the dog bit me. Whatever will I do? Well, I have a dog, too. And now my dog will eat his dog. Yay, get him. And then we just, you know, obviously you don't want to get seen by the dog or him. Because there is some minor questing you can do where you kill wolves. Oh, look at them spread. Look at that. Yeah, spread those legs. But, but yeah, this is the free dagger. Also, he's got nothing good in there if you're curious. Man, they're still fighting. They're still freaking fighting. Oh, friendly fire. My bad. Oh, no, my leg. Oh, no. There we go. We got him. But yeah, that's how to get the free dagger, and that's gonna help in the next part to get a really good one-handed sword. Also, early game, like, just killing sheep is like the best thing ever because it just levels you up so fast. See, look at the heavy weapons level 14. Like, you just run around and just one-tap them, bro, and you just level so fast. And there's so many sheep fields around. And, you know, people can be like, oh, you could skin them all and get their skins. You don't need their skins. The money is too low to matter. Like, who cares? But yeah, we're just murdering all the sheep. All right, next up is the Atamans Saber, and this is what it looks like. Now, this is just a silver quality one, but this is available on map 1. It has very high stats. It's got 118 slash damage. And it's got, you know, some okay stab damage, but it's a saber. Sabers are to make your opponent bleed very quickly if you spec into like a bleed build. Not that you really need to, but here's where it is. So here's Skalitz, the starter town. You go east, and you're going to hit the fast travel point called Apollonia. Once you go north a bit, you will then discover Apollonia, which lets you zoom into the custom map here with like this little creature. And you're going to go exactly right here at this bandit camp, right there. And this is a bandit camp with 4 Cumans who are very highly geared and aggressive. So you might want to come here when you're higher leveled, or come here at night and try to stealth kill them. But Cumans like to stay up late. They stay up late, they get drunk, they party. They don't really sleep much in this game. And that's like all of them ever. Also, I fell down the mountain here, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the fight. But here's their camp. You got to be careful. You don't want to fight them in grass, because when they die, they'll drop their sword, and you might not be able to see it. It's a real pain in the butt. And it's kind of random which soldier has the sword, right? So we're just going to stealth kill. And maybe this guy's got it, maybe not. Just go ahead and stab him with that dagger. There we go. But yeah, you can see he's got the fancy helmet and everything. This guy had a Cuman Saber, so it's not him. Might be the orange guy. We got some other ones. They all have their backs turned. You can also throw like stones, right? And you know, get people to turn their backs that way. So that's fun. Well, clearly, this guy can't see me. I'm not even in a stealth set, but he's like staring over at the wall. All right, let's see if we can stealth kill this one. No, they've been alerted. All right, time to fight. Oh boy, you don't need to see this. I don't want to drag the video out, so I'll skip. Now, there is a rare chance that none of them do have this weapon on them. However, just wait 3 to 4 days, come back to the camp, and you should be able to find it. And there it is, Atamans Saber. Again, this thing is pretty beefy, pretty strong. And you can see I've got 2 of them, 118 damage at 100% durability. Also, just a random side note, if you want more Toledo steel here in Apollonia, just from here, this is where we just were. You can go up here. And there is a chest. You'll have to pick it, though, or there's a story mission you can play to get a key for it. And there's 2 Toledo steels in here, but once a week you can just go to that cupboard in Troskowitz and get a Toledo steel, and you don't really need that money anyway. Really depends on what you want, but it's always good to have a few on hand. Now, for short swords, which are arguably, in my opinion, the best swords, since long swords tend to hit doorways and rooftops when you're trying to fight close combat in closed spaces. Short swords are really good for defense, and they deal better damage than sabers. They're just overall better, but heavy weapons really do win. But anyway, enough about that. Here's how to get the Basilard schematic. So this is Trotsky Castle. Here's the fast travel. Trotsky Castle is north of Troskowitz, and we've been to Apollonia. This is where we got the saber. If you continue all the way up top here, there's a road that leads into a little forest, and there's a cave, or it looks like this when you have the whole map. You just go from Trotsky Castle to this little road here northeast, and again, there's just a little cave, and it looks just like this. Pull out a torch so you can see, and then when you're in the cave, hug the left wall. That's all you gotta do, just hug that left wall, and then you're gonna, again, take a turn, and then when there's a dead end, you're continuing to wrap around and hug the wall, and there's like a brown bag in the corner here. You open the bag, and then you get the sketch for the Basilard, and then there we go. There's also some books you can loot if you want. And then here's what you need to craft it. You can get the fastening material and the copper and the iron from Blacksmith Radovan. You already know where he's at. And you just go to materials. So there's the copper, the fastening material, and the iron. So there we go. Easy stuff. And then the exotic wood, you know where he's at. Troskowitz, the merchant here. He's got the wood, so we just go to materials, buy the exotic wood, there we go. And then the Toledo steel, well, I've already showed you where that's at earlier in the video. So here is the crafted Basilard at gold quality. Again, I don't have Henry quality unlocked, but you can see here, slash damage 121, stab damage 115. Compared to the saber that we got that's only silver, we lose 3 slash damage and 21 stab damage. But again, there are better perks for short swords than there are for sabers, so technically it's still better. And again, the Skalitz Axe is going to kill everything the exact same hits, because you add the slash and the blunt damage, whereas the sword is just the slash damage or just the stab damage. And you only do the blunt damage when you do a clinch attack. And I know that on the animation for the Skalitz Axe, when you do a clinch attack, you are butting them with the bottom of the stick of the axe and not actually slashing them, but it still does the slash damage anyway, combined with the blunt damage. I don't know why it's coded that way, that's just how the game is. Next up, not quite a weapon, but the Spade. You'll need this to rob graves, the closest one from Troskowitz. You go east to the cemetery, the Troskowitz Cemetery. And you're going to look for this building right here. And it is, again, this is where the cemetery is. You'll be able to see this building. There's a spade hanging against the wall right here. It is considered stealing, but it loses its stolen value very quickly because it is a very low value item. So for the shield, you'll need the spade. And again, we are just south of Skalitz, just south. And if you go south along the road, as soon as you hit the forest here on the right, it's kind of like an L shape on the forest. And we're right here with some fresh graves. Now, before you dig these, if you don't want to get your fancy pants clothes dirty, just strip down. That's, you know, as naked as you can get with nothing equipped. And then, something's in the way. Yeah, the dog's in the way. Because this will make you very dirty and all the clothing that you're currently wearing very dirty, which means you're going to have a laundry bill. And it'll massively lower your charisma. But there is the Von Burgo Knight Shield. And it has the same defense as all the other shields. The only difference is that it has a higher durability cap. That means the durability, in this one it says plus 25, but when you fully repair it, there is some out there that get up to 100, but there is a second grave near this tree with the little cross. And again, you can rob that too if you want a backup shield, because sometimes if you're a shield user, your shields will get busted and broken in combat. And so you just put on another shield. And so, again, you can go ahead and grab this shield. This one has actually more durability, even though it's more broken. And, yeah. There's also some other okay stuff in here, too, like a flanged mace. But we already have a better mace, anyway. But do be careful, because these shields, they don't have the same defense value. Fully repaired, we have 263, 25 durability, 225, 42 durability. And shields are absolute garbage in this game. They suck. They are a huge DPS loss. But if you want to have some class fantasy where you use a shield, go for it. Alright, that is the video. If you want to know about armor locations, well, I kind of have already made that video in a way, so I'm not going to include it on this one. But this video here, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the best possible start for new players, how to level fast and get geared. You can go to the description, go into the timestamps, and towards the end here, I show where to get the best armor pieces for defense and charisma, how to get the best clothing for charisma, best horse accessories and dice, and stuff like that. I also talk about the poleaxe, crossbow, bow, sword, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of info in this video, why the Skalitz Axe is the best weapon. I talk more about that. And yeah, so go check out this video. It's a banger. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I have no friends and no family and no life. I read every comment, so just ask me a question related to this video at least, I guess. I don't know. But also, click the video on the right side of your screen right now. If you don't click it, what's going to happen is the next time you do anything, you're just going to unnecessarily drop things on the ground. Like, you'll be, like, scooping out, like, some ice cream out of a thing. And then, oops, you accidentally flicked the ice cream onto the floor. Yep, and that's going to be your fault for not clicking the video on the right side of the screen. It's a curse, and the only way not to be cursed is to watch that other video. See you later. Oh, and I always usually end my videos in virtual animal abuse, so just, down, Mud, bad boy, bad, yeah. Like the video, or I'm going to beat Mutt some more. That's right. Better like the video. Listen, it's a virtual fake dog, and I know this makes people upset, okay? That's why I'm a bit of a troll, and it's a single-player game, okay? It's totally fine, alright? Okay, how about Henry's sweet facial expression here of pure bliss as he clubs an old man in the side of the head? You gotta love that one at least. Come on now.